transportation for fuel distribution, not roads.
Yeah.
Nupeng should stop chasing shadows because, I mean, you never know. They say if some of these points that they raised are not addressed, including the roads, who knows? They may call up a strike again. But what do you think about Olufemi's comments?
Everybody knows that's a global standard, but we can't do it here because of corruption. And where they do it, those pipes are at the mercy of vandals, particularly in Niger Delta, because of the economic problems in those regions. You cannot sleep in a poverty-stricken area, in a ghetto, and you have the pipe passing underneath your house. You are likely going to burst it and get because they always say everything is the pipeline. If you ask them for road, it's the pipeline. Ask them for food, it's the pipeline. So those boys started busting the pipe. Maybe they will get all this thing for the pipeline. Everybody knows pipeline distribution of fuel is the pipe, but you can't do it here.
You know, there are different schools of thought on these strikes, even the Nupeng one. You have some of which include the fact that we hear them say, if Nupeng really meant that the roads should be fixed, first they can itemize the specific roads that they want fixed, and then look at the realistic timeline for the government to actually budget and fix those roads. And if that is not done, then you could say that, okay, well, the strike is justified concerning that particular reason. Because they think that, look, this demand for roads to be fixed is just an addendum. That the real thing is about casualization of workers, which directly affects them.
Yes.
Maybe some of the taxes, I said, well, maybe this NURTW, which directly affects them, and not Nigerians generally, and that they're using their position to twist government to get what they want.
No, that position is not correct. I'm yet to see a family in Nigeria that has not lost somebody
No,
to road accident.
I'm twisting and add sympathy. I mean, get the sympathy of Nigerians to that as well.
No.
Because as you rightly pointed out, there is not one single family, possibly in Nigeria, that has not experienced a loss of a loved one owing to bad roads or, you know, accidents on the roads.
But if all of us are not going to be on strike, don't forget too, most of these strikes, most of these accidents, or many of these accidents are caused by tankers. Many. But if they are now saying that, please, don't make us murderers on the road, repair this road, I don't think they've committed any crime. And let me also remind you, during the Obasanjo regime, when this issue was raised, the argument then was that, it was too late to budget for those roads to be repaired. Wait till next year. I'm talking of almost 10 years ago now. So the same vicious answer that, we cannot do all the roads, let's wait for some, give us wish back. Why can't government say, give us, all the roads supposed to be good. All the roads.
That's why people are saying that if 10 years ago, as you rightly pointed out, this roads was a part of it, and we have not looked for a strategic plan to addressing the state of the roads, and every time Nupeng finds it convenient to suspend its strike, even though the roads haven't been fixed, they're saying that is a convenient addendum to the agenda.
It's not only that. Don't forget there are core demands. There are core demands. But honestly, in all those demands, if I want to support them for this strike, I will support them because of that road. I will support
out of the three.
I will support them all. But if I want to totally support them, in fact, that is what I feel every Nigerian should embrace.
Which is the plan. Which is the plan, which is the fact that, everybody uses the roads, knows that the roads are not in the shape that they should be.
Yes.
We will all support this particular strike, forgetting its consequence to us as well.
Don't forget too that the consequence of trekking, the consequence of maybe getting to office late is better than the consequence of being killed on the road by tanker drivers. Or being at times, when you go on that road, the contours. For at times, I always say, why do they even do all this cut and paste? It's even better to have the potholes if you know you cannot do the road straight. Because by the time you drive 190 kilometers and enter these contours, it's better for you to enter the pothole driving at 20, 30 kilometers than to believe that the roads, have been done.
Do you think that Nupeng should have been more specific about the roads they want fixed?
Tankers move from Lagos, Sokoto, Maiduguri, everywhere. So there's no way they will say, okay, do this Lagos-Ibadan road this year. Then Sokoto, Kano road next year. It's not workable. Oh, don't forget to the budget. That was the time they budgeted 300 billion for this road, and nothing happened. What we had, at best, were billboards announcing what the road will look like in nearest future. We don't see the roads, we don't see the billboards again. So it's a serious
The reason why we have
issue.
to say this because we remember very clearly, was it sometime last year when the focus was on the Benin-Ore
Road.
expressway, and
Yes.
you know there was a lot of light shed on that.
Yeah.
The minister came out to explain why that particular
And what happened to
portion
that road now?
has been a problem. We understand it has been fixed.
Partly, not all. That road is a center of big corruption, just like Ajaokuta rolling steel. No, government has, if maybe I would advise you, please go and read those budgets for the past 10, 15 years. There are certain projects, road projects, certain industrial projects that continue to reoccur. I've been hearing about Ajaokuta rolling steel budgeted for since Shagari regime. The same thing applies to those Benin Road. Obasanjo regime, every year. There was a time a minister went there to cry. Don't forget.
But don't. In addition to all of this, the reason why all of this is coming up is that you can't do the same things and expect different results.
Yeah.
If Nupeng is always saying, look, fix the roads, you go on strike, you come back, and the roads are not fixed, you do that again. How do you change your strategy and come up with something different?
Like I always say that, you are looking at the effects, not the causes. If the causes are still there, you are going to get the same effects. I want us to look at the logic in that way. If government refuses to do what is fundamental, you are going to have all these strikes. So rather than saying the strike should stop, before government should be reliable,
No, that
it should go that way.
Not that it
It
should
should be
stop.
okay. Should we just continue with the strikes until government fixes things instead of going back and forth? You have the strike, you suspend, you come back, and all of that. So why don't you just stay at home until government moves to do it?
You know,
No, because
And the people who suffer
government will not
are
get
you and I.
our government will not do anything.
Let me give you. I was involved as an alumni, as an alumnus of IFE, when the former ASU president, Dr. Fashino Jingo, was national ASU president. We even invited him to alumni in Lagos. I was secretary of alumni here. This ASU Wala started since 2001. And they were only able to address, government was only able to address less than 15% of this thing. So we have a deaf and dumb government.
What I'm saying is,
Yes.
you said since 2001.
And one.
If since 2001,
Yes.
we've been having this back and forth, today you're on strike, you come back, you suspend, you're on strike, you come back. Why don't you just stay at home until government responds? Then you come back and know that we're running a straight race. You just said instead of entering the road and with contours, and it's better to have potholes.
Yes, until you can.
So why don't you just...
Good. Yes. Now you are talking of a revolutionary situation. Why we having all these temporary strike, warning strike, is because the labor leadership have not come to a conclusion that with their power, with the Nigerian people, they can change the system. When you call for total strike, that's total strike. Then you are talking of revolution. You are talking of change of system, and that is what I would support personally.
There are others who will be asking the question, are the labor unions actually working for the people or for themselves?
They are working for they must first of all work for themselves and for the people. Yes, now, I always tell activists where you are fighting for Nigeria. You don't say you are fighting for Nigeria. You are fighting for yourself and for Nigerians. Because if the schools are good, your children will go there. If the roads are good, you will also be benefit. So labor leaders have the right to fight for themselves as workers, have the right to fight for the rank and file members, and also have the right to fight for us.
Take a look at this perspective now. About Nupeng.
Yes.
including PTD, petroleum tanker drivers. Remember there was a time they had this fracas with last night in Lagos about how they refused to obey certain rules and regulations. Nigerians kicked against that, and then they had to change, reverse that the strike decision. And then there are the directives also to Nupang and tanker drivers to park at designated parking areas. And the governments, different state governments, had several battles with Nupang and PTD about this matter. And up to today, if you go on, you see indiscriminate parking. Who says or who does something about all of those? So shouldn't they also look at these matters about internal cleansing while they're asking governments to do something?
They have to do that. Nobody that obstructs traffic, no matter who you are, should go scot-free.
Yeah, but when government says, no, park properly, they threaten strike.
No, the argument, don't forget too, that in Nigeria, we have to profitize crime. And that's the problem. Look at that Shagamu. There's a new lease of life in that place now. The tanker drivers are parking well, and you don't have the gridlock that we used to have. When you want to correct certain things, particularly social errors, you don't first of all look at the monetary aspect. And I think that's the logic of the government, including Lagos State government here. And that will definitely provoke a reaction. No argument. You must make sure people obey traffic rules. But when it comes to, okay, this trailer has parked here, then you pay 500,000, 1 million. No. That aspect, psychologically, it doesn't help crime control. In any crime control, when you start saying that anywhere, I gave an instance. The Shagamu, when the former governor was there, he gave the whole thing to private investors to build. And I was on TV, I said, look, it was wrong. You don't solve problem because you want to privatize the issue. All you need to do is to call the tanker drivers. This is a collective problem.
Okay.
Now the solution is let the tanker driver themselves own those parking spaces.
All right.
So that you don't look like you want to exploit them.
We're running down now, but the thing is, would there be anything wrong if Nupang were to say, okay, fix the pipelines and do something about the rails so that you can transport petroleum products as is internationally recognized? Since you've gone on strike for decades about the roads, you will continue doing it. So
there's nothing wrong. It's not even pipeline. No. Even gas we use in our house. Don't you know is belated? In fact, you go and get gas. Everybody's be running. You put a cylinder in your boot. It's not wrong. It's not only oil and gas. It's not only petrol. Let them fix gas. I was in Libya. Every house, Libya is Africa. Every house, you don't need to live. Every house, but as you are connecting your tap, they are also giving you connection to gas. So the same thing as you apply. So if they don't do that, let all of us also go on strike.
All right,
just give them time limit.
Adela Shoton is the Executive Director, Grassroots Watch, and also a Public Affairs Analyst. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you. You're welcome.
We'll return after this break. Please join us again.